we're the Hall of Heroes.
The hall.
We're in Garb for the first time.
Here we go. So, I suppose everybody is probably wondering, why are we all of a sudden in Garb for 2 episodes in a row?
Oh my god, it is 2 episodes in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we did do this for the Steampunk episode last week.
Which
If you haven't seen that.
Which I think is good that we're actually garbing up, finally.
Yeah, people get to see us in our real personas rather than just, I don't know, hanging out at the house, which is
Putting
what
in
we
a
were
hat.
doing before. No, we always had our like Hall of Heroes stuff on and stuff and whatnot from the website if you ever want
That's
to
true.
buy anything. But today we decided to garb up, show you what we really look like, what you're going to see in person if you ever come to any of our events.
Well, especially because we've got the April 19th.
Murder mystery. Yep, that's
Spoiler alert, I'm a ghost.
yeah, help the ghost of Kurvka figure out who killed. Yep. And you'll be helping me by putting
What's
together a
actually
spell.
Really cool about that, though, is so that murder mystery is going to take place in a brief window in the Hall of Heroes storyline.
Yeah.
Which
Yep.
I've been waiting to fill that blank for a while.
Yeah.
And now we actually have the proper event to do it.
And what he's talking about is in Season of the Hunter, the first
Season of the Raider.
Season of the Raider on our website. You can read it still for now on the website. That's where he dies. And so that's what we're talking about is in that piece of the storyline, there's a gap. And so with this April murder mystery, which is going to include a medieval dinner, and you get to garb up. You can garb up, dress like
We
with us.
highly hope that everybody's
and you get to solve Kurvka's murder and possibly be written into the storyline and possibly even a book in the future.
That's the beautiful part is there's been a lot of writing.
A lot.
I'm just in the editing phase, which God's help me.
You've been in your writing phase for a long time, though. There's been a lot of...
Yeah.
Like, I would say since last August, you've just been pumping out. Like, it started with Season of the Pack and then all the other seasons that you wrote after that. Because we're on Season of the Awakening. And we have another season after that's supposed to even come out before anything else.
Technically, that season is actually going to be the free portion of the book.
Ooh.
So the novel, which I'm calling Seasons of War, which covers all of the goings on of the nightmare that we've experienced as Hall of Heroes in our fantasy campaigns.
That's awesome.
And this one is going to lead to a lot of really fun shakeups in the plot.
Oh. As much as I'd love to hear more about that, I don't want to give any
Today
spoilers.
We're actually just rocking out in our garb.
Yeah, today we thought we'd talk about garb just in general.
Yep.
I think especially having a male and female perspective is helpful because it has been interesting. It's so funny for me, at least, because I'm so used to the girl garb aspect where you got to get in your corset before boots,
I
blah,
also
blah.
like the leather vest. I'm in no way being biased about
I was saying the leather vest is a lot nicer. I don't have to wear a corset. It's not cinching the crap out of my stomach. I can drink some mead and we're all good. This is not mead, unfortunately. It's a different substance that is not sponsored.
This is actually just cider for me tonight.
Oh, really? I was wondering what you put in there.
Yeah. It's the peppery one that you didn't like.
Oh, yeah. There's this habanero. Like, who makes habanero? Who makes spicy cider?
It's actually really popular these days.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
definitely
like
a thing.
Spicy bubbles. Why do you like... Okay, if you like spicy cider, can you tell me why?
I just like spicy.
I'm like asking directly. Like I'm staring into your soul and I want to know what is your problem?
You know.
Because to me, it just tasted like carbonated spice.
Pepper.
Yeah. And I was like,
I
I don't
mind
like
that.
this.
I can live with that. It's fine.
Okay.
It puts the carbonated alcohol in its mouth.
Yeah. No, I like my sweet. And that's why I
So,
like the other
going
sweet
back-
ciders. But anyways,
You're not in a corset,
I'm not.
which is
Fun
very
fact,
new.
you can wear something other than a corset for garb.
It's true.
There's all kinds of things, at least for girls. There's bodices, there's corsets, I don't know what this one would technically be called. This is more of like a... Leather is different too than real corsets and like steel bone lined
I'm thinking of
corsets.
the name of it, and it's
I
eluding
can't
me.
think of it right now is what the
It's
name.
almost like a jerkin, but not quite.
Yeah. It's just leather. It's very loose, like when you pull on it, but it's like form fitting, has this nice little bustier thing to make the girls look good. And I don't have the rest on. Unfortunately, I am just in leggings because we're in the podcast, but.
Yeah, nobody gave me that memo, so I'm just
You're full garb.
full garb. I've got everything. You can't really see it, but all the way down to my Verilus boots.
Ooh, Verilus. Yeah, because you got to have a good set of boots.
It's true.
For
I
garb.
learned that the hard way.
Boots or moccasins.
After 2 seasons at Murph in basically just generic leather biker boots, I decided it's time.
The real leather is where it's at because that's what's going to last the longest.
Yeah.
And what I like about your boots that you ended up getting from Verilus, as I'm just like staring at them, is the red lining that is on them. The little red accents into the leather
enemies.
is just a really cool touch, I felt, which made it just seem, I don't know, a little unique, which you're not going to find in any kind of generic boots. Not that there's anything wrong with that because several of my boots are Amazon boots that I wear. If you go into the hall at all and you see any of our pictures and you see I typically wear these knee-high, over-the-knee leather boots. That's my
And you
go-to.
said you've had those ones for a while, haven't you?
Depends on which one we're talking about. Because I have lots of leather boots. I have literally a whole box full of just boots. But the over-the-knee ones, yes, both sets that the one set that I've been wearing, the heeled ones, I have only had for a couple of years. The first time I wore them was at the Valentine's event. That's why it hurt my feet.
I remember you saying that. You're like, yeah, these boots are killing me. I'm like, so what else is new? And you're like, no, more than usual.
New.
But these are actually extra ouch, and I hate it.
Yeah, but that's because they're heeled. So the flat boots, if you can get the over the knee,
probably a good thing that I don't wear heels.
You're already 6'5". I don't think you need heels. You could wear them. You'd rock them. You'd look great. But
I don't think anyone wants that. I don't want that.
it's fine if I'm wearing my heels because I'm 6'1".
Speaking of which, let's talk about the ridiculousness of the fact that I can wear this for 12 hours straight. Easily. No problem. You've seen me do it.
I have.
I'm completely comfortable.
Yeah.
All day, the next day even.
You are.
Our steampunk event, just wore like steampunk vest, basically just a period accurate vest.
Yeah.
With a long sleeve t-shirt and just regular pants.
And it wasn't.
And I woke up the next day and my back was killing me.
It was because, this is I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but this is like thick.
It's very shaggy.
This is thick leather.
Yeah.
This is very thick. And this has also got, so if you look at his armor, let's check out your whole armor set because this is a beautiful armor set.
Do a little spin?
Yeah, do a little spin. Do a little spinny spin. For those that are just listening to the audio, he's spinning. So there's 3 different straps on the side that you have to strap in on each side. Not to mention,
no way I can put this on.
Not to mention the little strappies that then are across the back. So turn around real quick. So there's these 3 right here. And then there's this guy right here. There's these 2 guys back here you have to strap in. And then there's, not to mention all his belts.
Yep.
And
as you can
you've
see,
got a strap here, you've got a strap here, and you've got a strap here. There's so many straps to this thing. What I was going to say to that is that you have essentially a second skin, like a thick skin. Yeah, that's supporting you. So I feel like that's why when you were at the Steampunk event, you had nothing like holding you up all day.
Sure.
That is holding you up all day.
You tend to have such better posture during this.
Yeah, because it's like I said, it's the thick leather. So you're basically,
rigid.
You're just being held together, Because I will say, when I'm wearing my corsets, I feel more like my steel bone ones, at least, because most of mine are underbusts. And I feel more like put together, and I am probably less sore the next day than I would have. But I still don't get how you do 9 to 12 hour sessions in this leather. And I get to about hour 6 in a corset before I'm like, I'm going to murder someone. This has to come off. Yeah. Now. And he knows. He'll see it. I'll be like, I need this corset off.
Hi, you. Is it time to go to the car?
Is it time to take the corset off? Yes, it is. Because I'm angry.
Meanwhile, it's 90 degrees at Michigan Renaissance Festival. I'm standing in the sun.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
you're completely fine. The one thing I have a problem with is the fact that we don't sit down all day
well, you can sit
because
down
of your
whenever you
leather.
want. I don't.
You don't.
like sit.
You just don't sit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unless I think of
Well, then
it,
it goes armor, double wide belt, more belts with our poison vials. Watch out for them. So, assassins have created our own pirate ship in the Brethren of the Great Lakes.
we have, and we'll talk about that.
Yes, we will.
I know we've said that before, but I promise we will.
But that's,
Please excuse us because we have been dealing with the utmost amount of technical difficulties and a little bit of some personal issues
it's been a week.
and sickness. I don't know if
I'm
you can
glad
hear
that-
it in me, but
I'm glad
I am
that
still
you're
sick.
not like bedridden because it's been
Dude,
rough.
Dude, I have
You
been,
have been having a bad go of it this
been
year.
having such.
So she gets sick for a week straight. You have maybe 3 days of actually being a functioning human being.
Maybe.
And then you're sick again for an entire week again.
Yep.
Meanwhile, I'm just sitting in like, right next to you. I'm like, here's your cold medicine. Go to sleep.
No, he really does. He just puts me to bed. It's great.
Wear extra blankets. Put some 2 layers of pants on. Wear a hoodie on top of it. And just sweat it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just been delirious because, my God.
The Dr. Ramsay method of cold removal.
Let's work because
that. Yeah.
despite the fact that I don't necessarily sound perfectly perfect, I am
You're
feeling
actually able to breathe.
a
So
ton
that's
better.
an upgrade.
And I'm moving. That's a plus too, because
two
I was
things
like,
that you didn't have 24 hours ago. So, hey, net gain, guys.
Yeah.
So where did you get that headband? Because that's been like your staple as
Yeah.
Corby.
not even just as Corpy. What's funny is this has been my staple for years.
Yeah.
I've had this headband, which I think is called technically a diadem, is what I was told. I've been trying to figure out the real name of this. So if you know what the exact name of this specific type of thing is, I believe it's a diadem.
It sounds accurate.
Yeah. So if I'm
the
wrong,
Dungeon Master in me is scrolling through backlogs of
if I'm wrong,
like different
let me
magic
know,
items.
okay? Because this has always been something I've wanted. So I have worn, funny enough, I've worn headpieces like this since I was a kid. I specifically remember a white diadem that came in at a point, had a little, I think it was a green gem. And like, you can still get these from the little shop. You can get like a little princess outfit.
Yeah.
And you get the little diadem with it and a little like wand, I think, is what they do for the kids. And I think I had gotten one of those or something like that when I was younger. But I wore that headpiece every year for years. And I wish I still had it. I don't think I still have it in any of my stuff. But I do have my little wand from Faire that I used to use with it.
Oh, nice.
So that's the funny part, is I've been wearing stuff like this since I was a kid and going to Faire. But I specifically found this one about, I think it was like 7 years ago.
Nice.
At one of the shops at Murph.
Are they still there?
No, unfortunately, I figured out last year that it's a new leather shop that's in the spot that used to be where my piece was from. And I don't know the worker that used to go there. Some of the Rennies might. So if you know who used to be in the corner spot, it's like across the street from Shop Troll. That's where I got this piece from. They used to have a bunch. I got this from my mug a year later. Because what I was doing was, for a while there, so I've mentioned this in the podcast before. I've been going to Faire since I was a kid. And so every single year as an adult, you can't afford to buy necessarily like a full outfit. So I've been every year trying to make it a point to buy one thing, just one. That was 1 year I bought this. And then the next year I bought this because I was building a warrior outfit. That was my whole point, which is what makes me laugh is like to meeting you. I was building this whole outfit, I feel like basically to entice you.
It worked.
Yeah, because when we first met and I saw your profile picture on Bumble and I saw this.
No, she saw this.
I saw that.
In my son's hand.
Yeah.
In his magic mark.
Okay, so imagine you're a newly single mom into leather, into Ren Faire, and you see the back of that holding a little dude's hand. Yeah, I was going to message you. Are you kidding me? I put on all the filters and you were like the second thing that popped up.
Thing?
At the time.
I am,
Bumble.
in fact, a mammal.
Yeah, but Bumble. You remember those days.
I'd rather not.
Yeah, you know what it's like out there.
I'd rather not.
So that's what I mean, is I'm like, I put on every
And from the home
filter.
game, yes, I am 41 now. So dating in your 40s sucks.
Dating in your 30s sucks too when you're a newly single mom.
It all sucks.
Dating just sucks. Dating is terrible.
But fortunately that's what we should do. We should create a new dating app, Ren Finder.
Or just a subsection of Bumble, because Bumble helped us pretty well. Got us together.
That really weird success story from a dating app. So here we are.
Yeah,
here
thank you, Bumble.
We're the Hall.
But no, that's what I saw. Is I saw the back of your leather. I saw you holding your little kid's hand, and I saw your profile of you talking about how much you just want to be chaotic and be a good dad. Like,
I am absolutely chaotic.
Yes, I'm going to swipe right on that.
Especially in this leather, as you've seen. Once I put the leather on, I become Kurfka, and I am, in fact,
chaotic neutral.
Garb. So
the only thing I haven't talked about.
You got that at Enchanted Forest last year, right? No, that's the one you got at Enchanted. So, yeah, when we first got together, and I took you to Enchanted Forest for the first time, because you'd never been.
Yes. I was light on Garb because I hadn't been in a few years, and I'd stopped gearing up or anything like that. It was my thing that I was really interested in and whatnot, but none of my friends were really like into it as much as I was into it and whatnot. So
it's fine. Not everyone can be a 6'5" Arab.
Yeah, and not everybody wants to go to fair all day, every day, 2 days, both days in the weekend, and then what is it, 8 weeks straight, 7 weeks straight?
Yeah.
Not everybody wants to do that, and I totally get that. So that was what was nice about when we met, was that I was like, hell yeah, somebody that wants to go and garb up and go to fair with me all the time, and all kinds of fairs.
We've gone to Enchanted Forest.
We've gone to Enchanted Forest, we've gone to Murph, we've gone to Ohio, and then we have our own events that we do outside of that. And then we want to do more than that. We want to go to all kinds of things, like Bristol.
Want to go to Bristol this year.
We missed being able to go to Texas last year with a bunch of people that were going.
If I would have known sooner, I would have figured out a way for us to make that work.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it was like, I don't know, everybody already had everything booked. And I'm like, well, we're not going to be able to get into a campsite in this stage of the game.
Yeah, we just weren't able to do it. So maybe this year, fingers crossed, we can get there or whatnot. But so far, we have only been able to attend Michigan and Ohio.
Yeah.
But we want to attend a ton more. But back to what I was saying is that I hadn't been to Murph in a few years. So I'd stopped like gearing up my garb because I was like, what was the point if I'm just going once a year?
Yeah, if you don't have a crew to roll with,
it's
intimidating. And I think that's something that a lot of people that watch our podcast or even just listen to our podcast or even come to our events, they constantly tell me, they're like, I don't want to go to Ren Faire by myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
If anything, you should. If you're worried about going to Ren Faire alone, especially like I'm talking to my introverts. I'm talking to my introverts, my cosplayers, my people that are afraid of other people.
Yeah.
Fair, of all places, is the place to go.
Please.
That's where all the other introverts, all the other nerds, all the other weirdos are. And they're going to welcome you with open arms.
It's me.
That's us. But no, I'm serious. Like having, again, not to like flex rank, but like having been in this my whole life, that is where the people that are going to accept you are going to be. If you feel like an outcast, if you feel like you don't belong, go to fair. And even if you don't have a crew, you'll find one. You will. There's so many people out there that are just willing and wanting to just accept everybody. And they are all accepted.
We've got our Hall of Heroes crew. There's also
There's all kinds of other crews
guilds
out there.
And the thing is, we generally get along with all of them. I don't really have a problem with anyone.
There's all the guilds, which is a lot. There's all the other groups out there, the raiders, the invaders, all that kind of thing. There's the longtime Rennies. There's the Steampunk crew.
The Witches Guild.
The Witches Guild. The witches in general. There is a whole underground group of us that are there, and we will not let anyone hurt you.
Well, then there's the whole Viking Alliance, which...
That's new, which is cool.
Absolutely awesome, because like they do a lot of the stuff for Nordic Firefest.
Yeah.
And that's another
Which
fair
was
that you
amazing.
didn't explain yet.
Oh, I didn't include that one in. We've been to Nordic too. That's new. We just went to that one.
This year was my second year going. And
yeah, it was my first year.
This year was, I'd say, better than last year. I had a blast.
Oh my God, I loved the fire, the boat burning.
Oh yeah,
that was cool.
We definitely had a prime location for that.
We had such a good location. We kind of like snuck in to the side, and we got such a good location of Metal Mandy doing her thing up there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we love our queen.
She was rocking it too. She was rocking it.
Yeah.
I got some good videos of her too and whatnot. That was really cool to see. I just love that kind of stuff in general too. It's fun to be in an environment like that and feel the energy of everybody around and and everything.
If that wasn't like a spiritual experience for everyone at the fire, then they're doing it wrong.
Yeah. And I'm sad I didn't get to see the fire dancers as much as I wanted to. That was cool that they had them. And then they had the whole tent that had all the bands and everything and the beer and everything. That was really cool.
To plethora.
Yeah, that was a really fun event.
Yep.
And shout out Plethora because they just played out our Steampunk event.
Yes, they did.
For us.
Yep.
We heart Plethora.
Yep, that's 2 of our Vetter events. Yeah, we've been basically just going to every event we can get ourselves into.
Yeah.
Which is going to be cool because for us, we've never done steampunk events or gone to any steampunk events.
And the support that came out of that.
Yeah,
the steampunk community, at least in Michigan.
Full force for us. And
oh my God. Yeah.
We had some really awesome people that came in, and I learned a lot from some of the OG steampunk people in Michigan.
Not only that, but so many people at our event.
Last week, we had our Gears and Bloom event.
Yeah. And it was it was so cool because the Steampunk Society, I feel like a lot of people came out and supported, which one we so appreciate. And then two, they were just so pumped that we were doing it. We had no idea that people were itching for this. So we were so pumped to have found that little niche because we both love steampunk. We both love garbing. It's kind of part of your book. Like, it's a little steampunk.
Definitely a solid steampunk element to the whole storyline. So.
Yeah. So we were very excited. And thank you all to everybody who helped us with that event, who shared, who liked it.
Everybody that showed up that we honestly just got to meet.
We didn't know.
Time.
Yeah.
You guys were cool as hell.
And especially full garb. We have some dope photos that we were able to post with that, which I was really excited about because I'm just dipping myself back into my photography stuff, which is something I've been passionate about for a long time and have never had the opportunity to just pursue as a career. It was really cool.
Yeah, you got some great shots. I've got my garb, right? I'm still wearing.
Oh my God. You're still wearing Z. Okay. So when we first got together, we went to Enchanted, right?
And she got my son a spyglass.
I did. I got him a little spyglass, which he has on his left hip here.
Yes.
But you have your spyglass that you never put on your hip.
Yeah, your eye is very visible.
Very visible eye.
So anyway, back to the garb, though. So I'm going to do a total gear breakdown real quick.
Okay.
Essentially, from the belts up, it's all Fawn Forge. Fawn Forge has some insane leather armor.
Yes. They do great work.
I would be remiss to say that I have not spent more money than I should have on a lot of suits of armor because I've got this one and then I've got basically it's the same one as this, but it doesn't have the design work etched into it. Or there it is. Whoops.
For those of you who can't see, we are showing the leather work. So this is his old set.
Yeah.
And you can't really see it. Like I would say
you can see it.
There's a little bit of a difference. You can tell.
This has like etching here and trim work.
But the main difference you can see is like the leather. The actual quality of the leather is different.
But not bad though. So this is where it gets interesting for me. Is that suit of armor, believe it or not, is 1,000,000 times more comfortable than this one.
So the original Fawn Forge that we just showed.
Yeah, that black.
That was your original set that you had.
Yep.
And so that's more comfortable.
It's even got like the ridges because I've worn it and sweat in that leather so much for such a long period of time.
Yeah, because
that it is form-fitted to me so perfectly.
That's the piece that you were wearing to the bar all the time.
Yeah, I was wearing that at the first venue for Hall of Heroes and the first 2 years of going to Murph. First 2 years garbed up.
Yeah.
And then I got this the winter before I met you. So December 2023, I ordered this one.
Yeah. Yeah, because when we first went to Mid-Mish, Enchanted, I don't know why I can't correlate those two names together. But Enchanted, when we first went to Mid-Mish Enchanted, this leather was so fresh that you were like, all right, just tie me in as tight as you can because I want to mold it to me. And that's what you have to do with leather. Yeah. When you first get leather.
Yeah, you have to sweat in it.
Especially the thick leather. Yeah. When it's thick leather like this, you have to mold it to you. And it's the same thing with like shoes.
It's thick. It's strong. This will stop it.
That's what I mean.
Like 1,000%, this will stop it.
This is thicker than, I'm not wearing it today, but that's the same. No, that's thicker than the leather. Then there's thicker armor like this, which is more like thicker than skin.
This is more like combat ready for
This is
to a certain degree.
Versus I have a leather top, or even like this leather is very thin. It's very, you can see it's very bendy. So that leather is going to be a lot different than this leather. This leather, if you get a thick leather armor piece like this, you have to mold it to you. Or you get leather that's like thick like this, you are literally going to have to do that every single time you wear a piece.
Yeah.
Shoes, armor, anything like that. The softer leather is a little easier to wear and mold right away.
That set, honestly, I'd say the first summer of owning it, it immediately started taking shape. And then being the absolute lunatic that I was bartending 2 to 3 nights a week in it.
Yeah, I'm sure. With you being in it 3 nights a week, that's a lot.
At least 6 to 8 hour shifts.
Yeah.
It was wild.
It was just molded to you. But it honestly didn't take that long for this to be molded to you either.
Got like perfect. But honestly, it's great.
Took a couple weekends, I would say.
So here's the secret, though. You can see how it's shiny like that. Renaissance wax.
Right, and it wouldn't be as shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was originally a little shiny, but you gotta take care of your leather.
The wax just helps with the rain, right? Like it makes it so it doesn't.
It helps with rain. It helps with anything. Let's say I spilled my drink on it. Like it won't mess up my leather. It'll just drip right off.
Yep. And you can do that with any leather.
That's a bartender trick that I learned with my first set. Is I got my Renaissance wax because I was looking for different ways to preserve the leather, have it last a lot longer. As soon as I found out about Renaissance wax, done. Everything I own has been properly waxed.
Yeah. With how often we go to fair, and that's completely
But it also makes it really easy because, all right, we all know the biggest problem with going to a Renaissance festival is the dust.
Oh.
And leather.
Don't get me started on Ohio.
Leather is a magnet for the dust.
Oh, that's right.
But
you should have seen him after Ohio because this man was covered in dust.
All right, so I know I'm half Arab. But I was so sandy after going to Ohio. It was insane. But what I was trying to say is with a Renaissance wax, you don't even need to take a wet towel to it. You can just take a dry rag and brush all the dust right off of it.
Yeah. So I will say it came off really easily.
Yeah.
Because you had waxed everything. I need to do that with my boots.
Yeah. And we should probably do that top as well.
Yeah, because this is actual leather. This is real leather.
Yeah.
So I've just had this. I forgot about this top, if I'm honest.
I had actually seen that there was a lot of people talking about just doing that in general with their leather boots. Like whether they're Ren Faire enthusiasts or otherwise. I was because
mine isn't, like my boots aren't like the expensive boot. But I've talked about that, is doing the wax on my boots too because of how dusty they get. Yeah. They get so dusty after fair. No matter what fair you go to, because you're walking around on dirt roads no matter what. Every part of every fair has some dirt road somewhere.
Yeah.
So you're gonna run into it.
I take back what I said though. For the waist up, it's not all Fog Forge. These are Crimson Chain.
Okay, so do a full breakdown. What is everything that you're wearing?
So this belt that has the potion vials, or the poison vials as I like to call them, because we do that for our assassin game. This belt with all the pouches, I honestly feel like I'm a graduate of the Rob Liefeld School of Belt Pouches. You might not catch that reference, but Rob Liefeld, who actually created Deadpool, and drew Cable and everything, early 90s, pouches everywhere.
Gotcha.
But at the same time,
you do have a lot of pouches.
Never enough. You can never have enough pouches.
No, you can never have enough because that's why I
lose
bought
things constantly.
this one.
And you're like, can I put this in your pouch? I'm like, which one?
And now I have a pouch that I can pull rice out of, because that's what I definitely did at Nordic. And everybody thought it was hilarious because I pulled rice out of it and I was like, I'm hungry. And they're like, what? Where the fuck did you get that? Hilarious. And I was like, I just my pouch. I got my pouch now.
Yeah. So essentially all my leather, waist up, Fawn Forge.
Okay.
Crimson Chain bracers, which are phenomenal. I've had these.
We love Crimson Chain. I do not have any Crimson Chain on right now, but I do have a top.
I got these my first year at Mid-Mish, Enchanted Forest.
Nice.
So it was funny because I went there wearing that old set of leather. And I'm like, I need new bracers because I couldn't find good ones that I really felt went with the armor.
Yeah.
So I get to Mid-Mish and I see
that's
Crimson
funny.
Chain, and I'm like, yep, those are the ones.
Those will work.
Yep.
That's funny because I did the same thing at Mid-Mish last year. If you think about it, that's where I got my bracers.
You didn't get those from Crimson. I can't remember.
Not from Crimson, but from another. It's just funny that we both got them from Mid because that's exactly what happened with mine. Is I went with you for the first time in. I hadn't been to a fair. That was my first time to Mid-Mish, but then also my first time back to a fair in general and garbing at all in probably like 2-3 years since before my son was born.
All right, so you probably see me fidgeting with this constantly on the camera. So this holds a very special place in my heart.
Again, shout out Ram's Head.
Ram's Head Craftworks has these amazing clay ring flasks.
They're amazing. They're so amazing.
I had a awesome black and blue one. It was the only one of its kind originally. Yeah, it is gorgeous. So the first one, unfortunately, came to a very tragic demise.
Yeah, pottery plus concrete is not a good idea.
Yeah. And it was at our first hall event after relaunching Hall of Heroes.
Yeah, that you lost your first one.
Yeah.
Because we have a beautiful picture of the first one.
Oh, we have so many good pictures of me with that one. We have some great videos too. But even still, I'm just like...
Yeah, unfortunately, that was so tragic when you lost them.
Probably had the most epic metal scream of my life in that moment. Just, no.
Yeah, I bet. That's why my Ram's Head mug doesn't leave my room.
No.
Like, and that's also
you're not
why...
allowed to have fragile things in public anyway, because...
Especially if I've been drinking.
Because
that's just not a thing.
You are not coordinated.
No, I'm not coordinated. I'm not coordinated even in the slightest bit.
So, essentially, most of my stuff from Fawn Forge and...
From Fawn Forge, but what is everything? Like, I know these are... Like, I had no idea that these were called pauldron. So this is pauldron.
So I actually bought these all separately.
Yeah.
Like, I got... Let me stand in the camera. So this is called a gorget.
Okay.
This and the pauldrons I got as a set.
Got it.
And then I got the vest underneath separately.
Okay.
Technically speaking, this would look a lot better if I took this. No, it wouldn't, because this plate right here, there it is. It's got the etching on it.
Which is beautiful.
Covers the cross hatch. Oh, yeah. I was like, I'm going to wear it all together. Always.
And then the belt.
So
are these belts with it, or?
Yep. So this was all separate. Like, this was built up over time. And the belts I got with the original set.
Okay.
Actually, no, I bought them. So I bought the armor first. And then I want to say over the course of 6 months, I'm like, okay, I gotta accessorize.
Yeah, That's the funny part is accessorizing is the biggest key point of garbing.
For instance,
you can have basic
this. You hated my scarf.
Okay, no, I didn't hate it. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it because I came from Rennie world where you're dressing Garb to dress. Okay, so I came from Michigan Renny World. I guess I should specify that is that Michigan Renny World, back in the day, Michigan Renaissance Festival used to be an authentic Michigan period accurate Renaissance fair. So when I went growing up, you had to dress period accurate. It wasn't none of the fantasy stuff. None of that was part of it. Now, I understand that other fairs were not, other fairs were not set up like that. I get that. Michigan specifically was. And that's why I say it that way, is because Michigan specifically was an authentic Renaissance fair. So all of us poor people, just as peasants, because that's all we could afford. So I'm not used to this whole, like, the fantasy concept being brought in, which is what you brought into the table, which I think is a lot of people nowadays are bringing that fantasy piece
you've
in.
Seen how many tieflings and whatnot
which I didn't understand
you didn't get what a tiefling was until
I played Baldur's Gate and until you came along. So I can understand where the Rennies are like confused. They're like, what are these red people and why are they here? I get it.
Yep.
But the new age Rennies...
But then again, a lot of the Rennies are D&D nerds.
Right,
so they would know what a tiefling is, but they're probably confused.
But the older ones might be a little confused because they're like, what the friggity frack? And again, there's this whole change from...
Your lines tonight, oh my God, this is going to be the best blooper reel ever.
What the friggity frack? is what a lot of them are probably saying. You know what I mean? And that's just the new generation versus the old generation. And that's why I love us, is because I think you and I do a really good job of combining the new and the old. Yeah. And helping to explain it. Because I don't think a lot of people know how to even explain it.
That's the weirdest thing, is so many people, like a bunch of friends of mine in Ann Arbor, they're like, all right, so what are you doing with all the armor? What is this? And I'm like,
what do you mean, what is it? Like, it's called Garb.
And half of them, I'm like, I've played D&D with you before.
Yeah.
And this is just physically being what you are sitting around at a table rolling dice pretending to be.
Right. And that's essentially what almost all Renaissance fairs are for these days. And not even these days. It's initially what they're created for. It's a fun event for you to garb up at, come to, and have fun. And a lot of the new age Renaissance festivals like Michigan are changing to be fantasy themed because they're recognizing that the younger crowds...
It's a bigger demographic. It's so much bigger.
And it should be.
And I think that's where, since we started the Assassin's Guild, like, we're getting all these Assassin's Creed cosplayers that are coming up to us being like, I want to join the Assassin's Guild.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, you can, but you got to hang out with us. Because
you got to do the things, because that's the thing.
If you're not hanging out with us consistently, so it's all about the participation. Like,
because if you're not going to participate even as an initiate, you're not going to participate as an actual attendee of the Assassin's Guild.
Yep.
So we're testing you. We're specifically testing you. If we even invite you to be an initiate, that's a big deal because we don't.
We've actually turned down a few people.
A lot.
That have come up to us and been like, hey, I want to join your guild. And then we don't see or hear from them for 2-3 weeks.
Yep.
And then they're like, hey, so can I join the guild? And we're like, who are you again?
The Assassin Guild is not a participation trophy. It's not something you just get
by showing up once.
No.
You have to, it's about putting the time in. It really is all about the participation.
It is.
And we just want people that'll show up.
Participation is key for initiation because once you're in the guild, you have to show participation ahead of time because we're going to want you to be participating in the multiple games that we have in the Assassin's Guild. We want people who are going to be keeping an eye out because
I have a spoiler alert. I've been writing up a new game.
Oh, you have? That's news to me.
By the way, Assassins, get ready.
Oh, okay.
We're going to have our guild meeting in June.
Yeah.
I have plans.
Okay. Be prepared,
because
you
we've
guys.
Already been poisoning people. We've been clothes-pinning people.
You want to come up with a new game? All right. Here we go.
I'm going to get real creative with it. And you're all welcome.
Oh, there we go. But that being said, as we can tell, as in the Assassin Guild, we are very game associated.
Yeah.
If you're not going to be able to participate as an initiate, you're not going to participate as a full-fledged guild member, which is why participation is so important to us for being able to become a guild member, because you're going to come in and you're going to be expected to participate in these games and be a contributing member and a non-maniacal person of Faire. We at the Assassin Guild hold ourselves to an extremely high standard. We are not there to cause problems. We are not there to cause mischief.
We respect the venue.
We respect the area.
The whole community.
Yep.
And
no matter where we are.
Yeah. And if you're going to show up and cause problems,
we don't want you.
We're not it for you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're not it.
There might be other crews that would be more lenient, but for our guild, it's we command respect out of our crew.
Right. And we want the respect returned and then also given back to the venue. So wherever we're at. So we love our assassins that we have now. We love everybody that's in the crew right now. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you for being a part of year one. And we're going to be opening, for those that are maybe even interested in initiation, is we are going to be opening up initiation again closer to probably Faire season, probably like mid-mish, Murph kind of time.
Probably around mid-mish is a good time to start being like, all right, hey.
Yeah, we've got to have a meeting with the leaders and stuff before we finalize anything. So more to come. Follow and subscribe.
We have 2 leader, his second, and 2 generals.
Yep.
And you got to get at least 3 out of 4 votes to get to get put into the guild.
Yep. And again, you got to participate. And again, participation comes in the form of helping us with assassinations, that kind of thing, or helping us with our events. That does also count because we've had a few assassin
guild based events, and that honestly is.
And we have had some assassins who have been added to the crew because of the amount of work they put into the hall events. Really helped us with every single event we've come out with.
Even like the pre-production of events.
Christian owns 2 items that are hall items that are no longer on the website.
So does Seamus, because he has the kimonos.
No, the kimonos are still on the website.
Oh, they still are? I stand corrected.
You can get kimonos on our website, which are wildly popular. I did not think the kimonos of all things would be popular.
But have you seen Seamus in a kimono?
I was going to say, now that I've seen the kimono, I'm like, ooh, I kind of want one.
We gotta...
They're nice.
We gotta get you a kimono. Seaver the Raven kimono, specifically for my Corpy.
And I want one of the Hall of Heroes ones, if I'm completely honest.
Oh, the one that's just a walking billboard?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's nice. I like it.
Seamus wore it well.
Yeah.
He definitely wore it well.
Yeah, if you go on our TikToks and you see any of the collage videos of Murph from last year that we've posted, Seamus is
rocking that kimono. And as soon as we put it up on the website, he's like, buying it.
I'm buying it now. And we had somebody else interested in it too.
We sold a couple.
Sold a few of them. So I'm like, I was shocked.
I was like, really? The kimono? That's what everybody's going for right now?
But Faire, like I said, once I saw it, because it's a silk kimono too. Yeah. So it's nice. That's nice.
It looks very comfy.
Yeah.
It fit our densest dwarven boy.
It did. Which is nice because, like, realistically, going back to what we were starting the episode about is Garb can be anything.
Yep.
Anything you want it to be. And I feel like it's a little more playful in the women's sense than maybe the men's sense.
Yes. So for me, that was my biggest thing is I had to come in guns blazing to Murph.
Yeah.
I'm like, the original leather set, but pretty much everything else the same.
Versus, like, for me, like, this is a leather top, or this is a peasant top. I think that's what they're called. That's at least what I've always called them, is peasant tops. There's different versions. So, like, mine is just a short version. So, like, the shirt comes out, like, you can see, like, right here.
It's called a...
I call it a peasant top. That's what we've always called it, and that's what my stepmom used to call it when she, like, was making them. I don't know if that's right, though. That might not be the right terminology. Because there's different versions. You can make one that's just, like, shorter like this. Or there's the ones that go all the way to the ground. Or there's, like, the midi ones,
so the ones that kind of go, like, mid-thigh, that's more of a tunic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That'd probably be more like a tunic, and this is more of an actual top. And then there's the peasant like dress that you can get.
Yeah.
And those are the 3 different like layers you can get. These shorter ones are great for like what I'm wearing, the rogue outfit, or doing any kind of like pirate, I would say would be good for this.
Yeah.
The midi to the long ones are going to be really good for you doing any kind of wench outfit.
Yeah.
Like a real true peasanty wench kind of thing. But I just went with this one, and unfortunately the one that I'm wearing is an Amazon one. But the other 2 that I normally wear are homemade. And then this top was from me personally. This was from Lover's Lane back in the day when I used to work at Lover's Lane. I saw this come in and was like, hell yeah, I'm buying this immediately. And this is actual genuine leather.
You were foreseeing my approach.
Not only that, but I have a thing for leather. I am.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, that checks out.
It's the reason I swiped right on Bumble. I'm a smidgen of a thing for leather. So that's where this piece came from. And to be honest, I completely forgot about that I had this until...
Yeah, I had not seen you wear that until we were going...
It was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, when we were going to do the promo shoots for Echoes of the Fallen Blade.
Yeah, for our murder mystery dinner party. I put this on and I was like, huh. I was like, this makes... I'm going to be completely honest, probably TMI. This is 100% a lingerie piece. And I bought it as that. And like, I never thought of using it as garb because of that. And then...
It's pretty interchangeable.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it until I saw it.
It's 2025. Lingerie is garb for some fairs.
And this is a lot of lingerie to wear. If I'm honest, this is a lot to wear. So this is great. And this is real genuine leather too. That's why I bought it to begin with. It doesn't have the real steel boning, but it's nice. It's a nice quality piece.
In case you couldn't tell, I'm a fan.
Yeah, and it goes with my little leather headpiece that I got years ago. And my bracers that I got last year. And yeah, and that's the cool part. At least with girls, is you can interchange a lot of it. I can wear this top with a lot of things.
Like a skirt
and a corset, and I can interchange. I have 6 different skirts. I have all kinds of different tops that I can wear.
You have been garbed
different
up
corsets,
so many different ways. And I feel like I'm very leather oriented, but I do have alternative views, which you've seen.
I hate leather.
But no, like
Stop dressing in leather. I hate it.
Sometimes I rock the gambeson with just the pauldrons.
Just as hot. No, stop.
So anyway.
I was going to say, you can pretty much wear this outfit in 80-degree weather to 60-degree weather. You just need your cloak for the colder time.
My cloak and the wool blanket. Shout out to whoever that vendor was at Nordic Fire Fest in 2024, because you saved my life. Because my cloak that I have, the armholes that I put over this, did not do the job.
Yeah.
And I was a very cold Durga.
I can see, like, I was so thankful that for Nordic, you warned me about that.
Yeah.
So I had on...
You planned a course.
So many layers. And on top of that, I had my wool jacket on and my cloak. And I wasn't cold pretty much at all the whole entire night we were there, which was nice.
Either. And it was because I bought that green wool blanket the first year I went. And I made that just a new cloak.
Yeah.
And, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was everything.
That's awesome.
Never underestimate the power of wool.
But yeah, so that's pretty much everything I'm wearing currently. Garb is
you
garb.
You change your garb more than I...
Well, I said that from the beginning. I was like, you're going to be in a leather piece and I'm going to change it up.
Because
I can't wear the same piece.
So much.
I just can't wear the same piece over and over again. It drives me insane.
And the annoying part is I have so many different garb pieces at this point where it's...
But your leather is just...
It's become iconic for me.
It's it,
There is no Curvka without this.
Yeah, that looks great, though. Can you... I just want to look at
that. Oh, welcome to Hall of Horny. This is Corby.
Like I said, you did attract me buy the leather.
You're welcome.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's what drew me in. Because I put on every filter I could, too. I put on every filter. I was like, I don't want to date. I don't want to see any man out there. And then this goddamn asshole in leather shows up. And immediately breaks down all the walls.
It's okay.
I'm not complaining.
It's okay.
It's been a great ride.
So thank you everyone for listening this far and for viewing all of our episodes.
Yes,
Please
thank you.
click a like, give us a follow, comment, tell us what you think about this new avenue of constantly being garbed in our episodes, because I feel like I want to. Because
I'm in it.
You know me, I want to live in this leather.
Be okay with that.
Here we go. So, all right, it's decided. Garb forever.
And also let us know if there's anything you want us to talk about. If there's anything you want to hear more on or don't know about or whatever, just comment. Let us know. What do you want to see? We want to do more of these episodes and everything.
Yeah. I want to be more our real selves, because this is who we are.
This is who we are.
Like
this is us.
We're not normal, but we have a few events coming up.
Yes.
We have a murder mystery event we've talked about today. The Echoes of the Fallen Blade murder mystery dinner party that we are doing.
Yep.
There is going to be a medieval dinner involved.
April 19th.
And you can find tickets on our Facebook if you go to the event page for it.
You can also find it on our website.
On our website, yep. halloftheheroes.com.
Yep. Just go to the event calendar and you can see all the events that we've got coming up. But specifically, our April event is the next one that you can be a part of.
And we do have VIP tickets still available.
Yep.
Which will give
only
you a Hall of Heroes gift, plus an extra clue for the murder mystery event.
Yep.
Which I have a few in mind that might...
I was going to say, VIP members also may or may not get some special favor.
advise that you read the story, because the clues will have a huge part of that. Beyond that, though, we also have an awesome Star Wars May the 4th event coming up. We will have vendors. We will have a great time. The last Star Wars event we threw was amazing.
Yeah, dress your best. Dress in your best costume. Yep. We're going to be hanging out at Ann Arbor.
I expect to see you as Qui-Gon Jinn again.
And we're going to be hanging out at Hearsay Brewing in Ann Arbor again. And we'll have vendors, we'll have drinks, we'll have food, we'll have a fun time. You get to garb up. Yep. Come hang out, enjoy with us.
And even if you don't have Star Wars garb, just dress up in your Ren Faire gear.
I was going to say, it's not just strictly Star Wars. So it's misleading.
It's called Forges and Force.
Yep. It's Forges and Force because it's a Renaissance and Star Wars kind of mashup party. So garb up, show what you got. If you can come,
not be in an epic Sith Lord setup, you'll see.
Okay. But if you're coming to the event, dress your best, dress in your best garb, and we'd love to. I'll have my camera again.
She will.
I'll take camera.
Awesome
I'll take
photos.
some
we'll
great
tag
photos.
You on the socials.
Yep.
And hey, once again, thank you for sticking with us this long. And as we always like to say, for the Hall.
For the Hall.
Be your inner child. Be the biggest geek you want. We love you for it. Please join us. Come and be geeky with us.
Come be weird with us. It's fine here.